Now, this episode, we saw a lot of the sisterhood. What would it look like without Towanda? What would it look like if Towanda wasn't present? Okay. But first, hola, welcome. Mi amo Denise. Okay. Como se dice? Like, subscribe, share. Love, 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 love. Mi amo is Denise. Okay. See, y'all saw how Trina was using Spanish. Okay, girl, we had a little bit of razzle dazzle this morning. Okay. Mi amo Denise. Y tú? Y tú? But I'm great. It's good to be here. We're at the last part of this season. Okay. We're at the last part of the season. And what would a season be without a retreat? We've seen retreats throughout the Braxton family values with Ayanla, Dr. Sherry, so many different people. And I said they need a retreat, right? Didn't I say that? Didn't I say that? But if you are new here, welcome, 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 welcome to the channel. I am so grateful for all of you guys. Okay, I want to give a little bit of a shout out to some new members. Okay, if you have not already hit that like button, you need to do it. Okay, you need to hit the like button. You need to subscribe. Join the membership. It's only $1. Get with the crew. Okay, y'all know I'm your favorite therapist. Okay, but let me give a shout out to Amber Sansbury, who joined the membership. Okay, Sheena McDaniel, you joined the membership. And I think it's Latanya. Thank you for joining the membership. Okay, thank you guys. I would not be here without any of y'all, subscribers, members, even the people who watch and don't subscribe. I love y'all too. Okay, I'm gonna need y'all to subscribe though. So we start off with Towanda wedding. Okay, we're gonna scoot right over to the sisterhood. Okay, scoot right over to the retreat. All right. Now, last episode, Tamar said she wanted to have a retreat and she got it. Okay, she got it. Oh, let me just talk a little bit about Vaughn. Sorry, y'all. I'm a little bit too hyped this morning. I got some good sleep. I feel blessed and I'm not stressing. So I skipped ahead. But we see Trina and Vaughn go to the hospital, and then he's meeting up with the doctor. Now, the thing about ATOs, you're gonna see doctors who normally don't look like doctors in California, in different places. I like this. Okay, give me a doctor who look like that. One that feels like family and not just like I'm another number, patient. You know me more than what's in my charts. You know me as a person. Okay. And you're not in a rush to, meet your quota, do your billing. You know me as a person. And that's what I felt with this scene. But unfortunately, Vaughn has been diagnosed with not only congestive heart failure, but early onset kidney disease. Only early onset kidney disease. And it's sad because it's like, oh, this family is just plagued with so many health issues, in-laws, blood family. And to only hear how he ordered catfish dinner while he was in the hospital. Okay. Trina feels like he's moving out of fear, which I can probably agree with, that it is hard to hear those kind of things. You're fearful you're going to die, but you still have to put some effort into living. You have a wife. I believe does Vaughn have kids? I'm not sure. But you have something worth living for. And I think fear sometimes catches up to us that you freeze. You don't know what to do with this news. But Vaughn's in a place where he needs to get together or have surgery. And based off of the little clips and bits and pieces I have seen post this season, because I'm sure they filmed it a while ago, of Vaughn and his videos with Trina, he doesn't really look too well. His skin is very dark. I don't see a lot of weight loss. So I'm kind of wondering if he made some of those recommendations that his doctors have said he needs to make, because Vaughn to me is still young. And there's no way with the news that he got, he should be moving and eating catfish dinners. Get a trainer, start walking more, go to Planet Fitness for what, $20? Is it still $20? It used to be 10. Get you a basic membership, go up in there and get healthy, not just for your wife, but yourself. Okay, use your platform to show how Black men need to go get checkups and take care of themselves, and how you can still be healthy and make a change in your life. Use your platform for good. Okay, just don't be sitting up there talking about Gabe. Do more than sit up there and talk about Gabe, y'all. But I just want Vaughn to be here. You know, he's a black man who just needs to start taking care of himself and really get with the program. So kidney disease, oh man, congestive heart failure, those are not good things. Those are not good. That's not good news. And I hope that he's doing a lot better. But I look at the clips, I'm like, I don't see the better. Okay, I don't see the better. Now let's finally get to the retreat. Okay. Now, see what happens when Towanda, the instigator, the manipulator, the bitter one, is not there. Okay. So we get this sister retreat in Malibu. Okay. And let me just give a shout out. Okay. Let me give a shout out to having real providers on here. A doctor. Okay. I thought I wrote down. Okay. Dr. Reese and Chelsea. All right. Those two women, we need real providers. Okay. I actually have been to one of Dr. Chelsea, not Dr. Chelsea. I've been to one of Chelsea's sound baths. She did a sound bath at an event I went to when I was still living in LA with Beam. And they had Tabitha Brown. It was it was mental health day, and Tabitha Brown was actually one of the panelists. So I got to hear Tabitha Brown speak. And I believe Chelsea was the one who did the sound bath. So hearing those sounds reminded me like I was there when she did for in LA, she did that event. So Chelsea is good. She is a big wellness like sound bath I don't want to say entrepreneur, but I think she's well known in the LA space to be the go-to person for sound baths. I think she was a brand ambassador, a wellness person for I think like Pop Sugar. So she in the streets, y'all. She in the streets. Now, Trina, Toni, and Tamar, and special guest Towanda the blow up doll. Okay. Now, I get, want to have her presence, but sometimes I think her presence does not bring the right energy. And I wonder if she had come, would we have gone what we gotten from the retreat? Okay. So the sisters come together, they're enjoying a dinner, and Tamar brings up Birdman. Okay. And it's interesting because these women are on a reality show about their lives, the reality, showing your life, your real life, but they don't. And this was a prime example again that they're going to show us what they want to show us. And Tamar is the one who wants to show the real life, but the rest don't. So Trini is like, are we supposed to bring her? And Tony's like, I don't want to talk about my personal life, but you're on a reality show. And I think Toni can get away with that shit because Toni is the brand. She's a face. She's a superstar. But how you on a reality show but don't want to talk about your real life? Oh, but y'all, she's been getting away with it for only over 20 years. So what can I say? But I just wish we would get that aspect to give more to Toni's story, more with her kids. We saw that a little bit this season. Her relationship, but I get that Toni is like, I'm not doing all that. Y'all know I'm not doing all that. I haven't done it. And y'all still gonna have that check hit my direct deposit. Okay. But I'm just like, girl, come on. This is what's wrong with this show. Y'all don't want to get a real deal. Y'all want to give just enough. And the one sister who wants to give more, y'all don't like it. Y'all like, kabosh. Shh. Okay. Shh. But I have to give Toni that bombastic side eye. Because girl, you know you can give up a little bit of information, a little bit more. Don't be on a reality show and not want to show you real life. Okay. Even these Bravo ladies who about to go to jail, who been in jail, who getting out of jail, they showing their real lives. But we let them get away with what they want to get away with. Similar to Trina. Trina is on high blood pressure meds, but don't want to talk about it. Okay, and it gets a little bit upset when Tamar brings it up. Now you talk about some stuff I don't want to talk about, and Tamar's like, I just said brought high blood pressure. You added extras like you got something to hide. I'm not doing that. And once again, use your platform for good. There are so many people out here who are dealing with these same things. High blood pressure runs rapid in the Black community. It's a big thing. So many people are on blood pressure medication. They don't want to go on blood pressure medication, kidney disease, congestive heart failures. Use your platform for good. Show the realities. Show the reality of your life. Help other people. See that they're not alone. And that is doesn't have to be something you have to be ashamed about. The more we talk about it, the more we know, and the more it can prevent other people from going down the road of needing to be on high blood pressure medication, that there are things you can do to change your diet, your lifestyle. But what do I know? Let me just drink my 40. Okay. What do I know? Okay. And I want y'all to learn this dynamic between them when they're arguing. When Tamar and Trina are arguing, and Toni is once again being the peacemaker. Just say okay, Tamar. Just say okay. Sometimes the battle is not worth the war. Sometimes the battle needs to be a lesson. Okay. This could have created a war. A small conversation about being on medication. And I get what Tamar said about Toni, that's your response to just say, okay, that's not how I want to handle it. But you talked about with your life coach, your reactions, Tamar. Your reactions. The only thing you can control in this situation is your reaction. So recognize that, people. Sometimes you want to say more, do more, but is the battle worth the war? And sometimes I need to recognize the only thing I can control are my reactions. So let me not react. All right, let me not react. I just do not think that anyone outside of Tamar is really ready to live their truth, even though Tamar doing it here and there too. Okay, she ain't perfect. She not doing it all the way right, but she doing it. Okay, but these ladies are not really ready to live their truth. They want to give us just enough, and that's why these last 2 seasons have been flatlined. DOA. There's not a connection here like there used to be because they're not happy. It doesn't feel authentic. It's all war. It's all war. No one is recognizing that the battle is not worth the repercussions of the war. The repercussions of the war is that there's no sisterhood. There is no sisterhood. Okay. And now we get to them doing the sound bath with Dr. Reese and Chelsea. And let's talk about it. Let's talk about Trina. Okay. I want to know from you guys, does sometimes religion hold people back from really healing and being open to alternative methods of healing? I think watching, them do the sound bath with Chelsea and Toni and Tamar lay back. Trina's not open because she's like, I'm not into this. I don't think she said witchcraft, but witchcraft. I'm trying to go to heaven. I ain't trying to go to hell. It's sound. It's literally just sound. This is just sound. This sound is not going to make or break if God's going to accept you at the heavens, at the gates. All right. So I was watching this and I'm just like, does spirituality make people rigid and closed-minded to real healing? And now you can have both. You can go to church, Bible study, have your prayer calls, and do some therapy, some sound work, some trauma work. But once again, I think that there's a lot of stigma still, even with Trina talked about having anxiety, even though I feel like at times Tamar was talking a little bit too much for her. I think because Tamar really wants her sister to be open to healing through therapy and other methods of just than only praying. So I think she could have took a step back and not spoken for her sister so much. But I get the excitement or just like, I want you to try this. It works. It's really a healing thing that we could do together. But Trini she's not open. And I want to know from you guys, do you think that sometimes people are so focused on just praying and being fearful of not going to heaven that that prevents them from really healing and really moving through their healing journey? Okay, let's talk about in the chat now. Let's talk about in the chat. And if you haven't already, like this video. Okay. Now the dinner, the dinner. Let's talk about the sisters going to dinner. Okay. Now they start to discuss the breakdown of the sisterhood. The breakdown of the sisterhood happened way before Ashley. But Ashley is a scapegoat. I've done a whole video on Ashley being a scapegoat, Tamar being a scapegoat. Check it out. Okay. But this dinner really brought to the forefront the problems, the issues. Let's confront it. Let's talk about it. Let's take accountability. Let's take responsibility for how we all contribute to us getting here. Okay. And now the big thing is that Tamar is saying that still asking who gave, they bleep out the name, so I'm not sure. Really, let me know, y'all. Were they talk about her brother? If it was a brother, why are they feeling need to bleep out his name? Like he does, I don't know, he's like a ghost. Even on the internet, there's nothing really about him. He's like a ghost. So Tamar is asking about who gave that man my information, who gave him the address, and it comes out that it's somebody adjacent to Trina. And Tamar, I think, just really wanted her sister to, to show up for her and just say, yes, it was me. And yes, I didn't show up for you. That's what it all comes down to. Showing up for me, supporting me. You weren't supporting me. Over and over again, it's all about showing up and supporting me. And it comes out that the person who I guess put the paperwork together as a family attorney and is somehow adjacent to Trina. And I think the conversation early in the episode about them spending time together on Sundays and coming over and watching Sunday football put it together for me that it had to be Trina who gave out the address, because Trina is the one who has been to different locations of Tamar's houses. So I was like, oh, okay. Early on, it's like, yeah, it was you. It was you. But the sisters don't want to always be honest. They're too much focused. They're too focused on the battle and the war to see that the war is what's tearing them apart. You don't always need to be in battle with somebody. You know why? Because you're too busy being in battle with yourself. Nobody wants to talk about that. As much as these sisters are in battle with one another, they're in battle with themselves, and they put out the energy out to one another, which creates the foundation for a war. Okay? So she finally admits to, hey, yeah, it was me. This conversation was very revealing of a lot of things that I think could have been squashed a long time ago. A long time ago. And in this conversation, it also comes up about a lot of things came out in this conversation. Tamar apologized to Toni. We get back to this dinner scene once again. And Tamar apologizes to Toni for saying, I should not have said that you never show up for me. Authenticity, vulnerability. I'm okay with admitting that I was wrong. Is anybody else? Is anybody else ready for accountability? Is anybody else ready to put the swords down, the guns, and get off their high horse and come down to earth? I don't think so. Okay. And then they start getting into it about Trina putting her hands on on Tamar during this dinner scene. And, Tamar brings out the laptops from production to show, hey, roll tape. Like I always say, roll tape. You say you didn't say that. You say you didn't do that. Roll tape. And Trina is still in denial. And it's like, you ain't got proof. I ain't touch you. Keyword touch. Touch versus hits. Okay. And it comes out that Trina did touch. They have two different interpretations, Tamar and Trina, about touching versus catching a lick. And I think that once again, we see the breakdown in communications of how each person interprets situations and different things. And it comes out that yes, Trina did touch Tamar. Did she touch her in a way to like this? But no, she did push her to protect Toni. And that's the deeper thing. Tamar does not feel protected. She doesn't feel supported. At the end of the day, the sisters tend to protect the brand. And who's the brand? Toni. I think that Tamar wants the respect and she wants y'all to show up for her. But Toni, I don't know if Toni has it in her to not be the peacemaker and do more than just sit there and eat. She's like, I came to do my scene. I'm here, right? And then we see Trina cussing in Spanish. What she say? Was it mentirosa or something like that? Her accents, y'all say it's Baltimore, old school Baltimore accent, a Canadian accent. Now she's speaking Spanish, y'all. But they end up both apologizing and taking some type of accountability and responsibility for the way dinner went down. Tamar says, I take it back if you take it back. I think Trina was actually kind of stunned. Oh, well, if you take it back, what else do I have to really war with you about right now? Okay, well, I take it back too. She's surprised. She's not used to, I feel like at this point, this version of Tamar. The one that's willing to take a little bit of responsibility, be vulnerable, and admit I'm wrong. I think she's used to the rah, rah, rah that we're accustomed to seeing. But once again, I do think that this is I want to say a healed, because none of us are truly healed. This is a version of Tamar that is healing, that's in the process of healing. And I think the ladies are not used to that. So that when she sat there and she said, when Tamar said, I take it back, it was like, oh, I wasn't ready for that. I had nothing to come back with. So I take it back too. I take it back too. Learn to take responsibility. Y'all are so afraid of being vulnerable. Because if I'm vulnerable, people will weaponize it. People have weaponized my vulnerability my whole life, so I'm not gonna let y'all soft me. I'm not gonna let y'all see me soft because then y'all gonna weaponize it. Y'all don't think y'all can take advantage of me if I show a little bit of softness. You can show a little bit of softness and still have your boundaries and still be in a place where people will not take advantage of you. But y'all have to let go of being vulnerable, letting my guard down a tad bit makes me soft, makes me weak. Another word I hear a lot. Makes me a punk. It doesn't. You ain't no punk. Okay, can we just like eliminate the word punk? Okay. If you're not in the gay community, you're not using it as a way to punk. Okay, you're not a punk. What's with that, y'all? Y'all so homophobic, man. I need to get past that. That's another thing that is stopping y'all from healing because y'all don't want to be seen as a punk. Like, uh, I just don't like it. Okay, I don't like it. Now, based off of this conversation, you see some progress. I see potential. And I see the potential because Towanda's not present, even though her blow up doll is there. Her energy is not there. This to me, this retreat is what I think Traci would have wanted. healing, for things to get better, for things to get better. Now, if only we had saw a hummingbird, that would let me know, like, yeah, this is what Traci wants. Okay, this is what Traci wants. But you have to learn how to take accountability and reflect back on yourself. How have I contributed to these situations? These relationships in my life, they just didn't get here by coincidence. They didn't fall apart. And am I saying that you're the problem? No, but you probably are part of the problem. Okay, you're part of the problem. Now we going to see them, be on good terms. Be on good terms. Have breakfast, kiki. We see a little bit of the sisterhood. We do. You see what it could be. But I feel like with Towanda, it's never gonna be grace given. Because the retreat is over, they reflect back on some things, show some things, and then we get to Towanda saying, yeah, they had a retreat. Okay. And she's like, all I could do is push through with grace. What does that look like? Because I know this was filmed, and since it's filmed, the sisterhood is completely back where it was. They need to let go of the Ashley thing. Because hanging on to Ashley being the problem puts a blinder to actually, when I take down the wall that I put up, that the blame on Ashley, I could see that, oh, there's so much more that we have problems with. There's so much more that has contributed to where we are. But once again, am I ready to look past the blaming of Ashley? And if I'm ready to do a real retreat, like I like this retreat was a good start. It's a starting point. Having professionals come on, Chelsea, Dr. Reese, kudos for having real providers, but we need it to be a little bit deeper and a little bit longer. Okay. I think this was kind of me like a reset. Okay. It was a reset and it showed me the potential. But we TV call me up. Call me up. Call a therapist, somebody who's a trauma therapist who's been watching this show for years. Okay. Watching this show for years. Okay. I'm gonna give you the real deal because I've watched this for so long. Okay, and I'm a fan. I'm a fan of healing. I'm a fan of growth. I'm a fan of confronting the bad in yourself to release the good that is still in there. But you gotta be willing to get vulnerable, be real with yourself. And I don't know if these ladies are yet to see that that's the goal. The goal is to be my authentic self and let go of the trauma I've been holding from my mother, the loyalty I've been holding on to protect my mother also is part of the problem. Okay, it's part of the problem. Does this show need to come back for a third season? It does not, but is it? Yes. It's the Braxtons. Okay. It's the only Black family who's been on reality TV for what, over 25 years at this point? Okay, they not going nowhere. They're not going nowhere. But at this point, I don't even know what the next season can give us. We saw the wedding. Um, I don't even know at this point. They barely gave us anything. And I told y'all, what I tell y'all? They're gonna string out this wedding. Now, the one thing I was wrong about is that I was not expecting the retreat to happen at the end. I think they needed one, but I figured the wedding was gonna be what was strung out all this season. Okay. But let me know you guys' thoughts. Of course, you will in the chat. We're going live this evening. Join us on our live. It will probably be the last live for this season. Let's kiki. Let's have a good time. Let's talk about healing. Okay, let's talk about healing. What are your thoughts on this season, the sisterhood? Because we know once the retreat was over and the show was over, things fell apart again. Things fell apart. Okay. But I'm Denise Brady. Mi amo Denise. Mi amors. I love you guys. I love you guys. Hit that like, subscribe. I know you haven't hit the like button. So hit it right now. Join the membership. It's only 99 cents. It's not even like $1. It's 99 cents. Okay. And I'll see you for more recaps, reviews. Stay tuned to the channel. You know, stay tuned for some new things. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.